Alice is a very outgoing person. How would you use this sentence to talk about Sheldon? ¿Cómo usarías esta oración para hablar acerca de Sheldon? Sheldon is a very shy person. Tienes que usar la misma oración como base, pero hacerle los ajustes necesarios para que se adapte a la personalidad de Sheldon. Sheldon is a very shy person. She spends a lot of time with her friends. How would you use this sentence to describe Sheldon? ¿Cómo usarías esta oración para describir a Sheldon? He doesn't spend a lot of time with his friends. Como viste, la oración de Alice es afirmativa, pero la oración de Sheldon tiene que ser negativa. He doesn't spend a lot of time with his friends. Las palabras que cambiamos fueron he doesn't spend y abajo his. He doesn't spend a lot of time with his friends. She goes to parties. How would you use this sentence to describe Sheldon? What is the negative sentence? He doesn't go to parties. Very good. The next one. She goes to movies. How would you use this sentence to describe Sheldon? Say the same sentence but in the negative form. Di la misma oración, solo que de forma negativa. Una oración negativa. He doesn't go to movies. Very good. She goes to concerts. Now use this sentence to describe Sheldon. Remember, make a negative sentence. He doesn't go to concerts. Very good. She's very popular. Okay, now use this sentence to describe Sheldon. But be careful. Here, we're not using the simple present. We're using the verb to be. Tienes que usar esta oración solo que de forma negativa. Pero aquí tienes que tener mucho cuidado. Porque en esta oración no estamos usando el simple present, sino que estamos usando el verb to be. She's very popular. She is very popular. So, say the same sentence, but in the negative form, talking about Sheldon. Usa la misma oración, solo que de forma negativa, para hablar acerca de Sheldon. Go ahead. He isn't very popular. Aquí no puedes usar doesn't. ¿Por qué no puedes usar doesn't? A ver si me puedes decir. ¿Será que podríamos decir he doesn't very popular? No, no se puede. ¿Pero por qué? ¿Por qué no se puede usar doesn't y tenemos que usar isn't? A ver, vamos a analizar la oración. ¿Será que aquí hay alguna acción? ¿Será que hay algún verbo? ¿Habrá alguna acción como comer, beber, saltar, leer? No, ¿verdad que no hay ninguna acción? Entonces, si no hay ninguna acción, es imposible usar doesn't. Así que tienes que usar isn't. He isn't very popular. Okay, let's continue. She likes sports very much. How would you use this sentence to describe Sheldon? But first, is this the verb to be or the simple present? A ver, pero antes de que lo hagas, dime, ¿será que esta oración está en el simple present o es el verb to be? ¿Qué crees tú? It's the simple present. ¿Y cómo sabes? Porque tenemos una acción que es likes. Likes. Si tienes un verbo o una acción, entonces es el verb, el simple present. Es el simple present. Entonces recuerda que para el simple present usamos un auxiliar. Okay, now go ahead and say the sentence in the negative form to describe Sheldon. He doesn't like sports very much. Very good. He doesn't like. ¿Podríamos decir isn't? Uy, no, porque eso es solo para el verb to be. Pero como esta oración está en el simple present, tienes que usar el auxiliar doesn't. He doesn't like sports very much. She plays basketball. What do you think? Is this sentence in the simple present or the verb to be? ¿Qué dices tú? ¿Verb to be o simple present? ¿Simple present o verb to be? Sí, está en el simple present. ¿Y cómo sabes? Porque ahí hay una acción, hay un verbo. ¿Y cuál es esa acción? Plays. Very good. She plays basketball. So, how would you use this sentence to describe Sheldon? Remember? Make the negative sentence. Make a negative sentence. Go ahead. He doesn't play basketball. Very good. She plays baseball. Okay, the same thing. La misma cosa. Use this sentence to describe Sheldon using a negative sentence. He doesn't play baseball. Very good. She plays volleyball. Use this sentence to describe Sheldon. He doesn't play volleyball. Good job. She's very athletic. Okay, tell me, is this the simple present or the verb to be? Are you sure? Yes, this is the verb to be. Este es el verbo to be, the verb to be. Pero ¿y cómo sabes? ¿Será que aquí hay alguna acción? ¿Será que hay algún verbo? Así como eat, run, jump. ¿Verdad que no? Ahí no hay ninguna acción. Solo dice, she is very athletic. Solo hay una descripción de Alice. Así que este es el verb to be. Now use this sentence to describe Sheldon. Ahora usa esta oración para describir a Sheldon. Recuerda hacer la oración en forma negativa. He isn't very athletic. Very good. Is, affirmative sentence. Isn't, negative sentence. Very good. Alice doesn't stay home alone very often. Now, is this sentence in the simple present or is it the verb to be? Ahora, ¿tú qué dices? Ahora ya se cambiaron un poquito las cosas. A ver, ¿será que esta oración está en el simple present o será que es el verb to be? ¿Tú qué dices? Ajá, esta oración es en el simple present. ¿Y cómo sabes? Porque hay una acción, hay un verbo. ¿Cuál es la acción en esta oración? Stay. Very good. Stay. So, now you have to use this sentence and use it to describe Sheldon. Ahora vas a usar esta oración para describir a Sheldon. But we're going to do the opposite. Vamos a hacer lo opuesto. Alice doesn't stay home alone very often. This is a negative sentence. Esta es una oración negativa. Now you have to make an affirmative sentence. Ahora tienes que hacer una oración afirmativa. Go ahead. Sheldon stays home alone very often. Very good. Here you have to be careful. Remember, affirmative sentences with he, she, it, you have to add the S to the verb. Aquí tienes que tener cuidado. Recuerda que cuando son oraciones afirmativas en el simple present con he, she, it, el verbo tiene que llevar una S. Sheldon stays home alone very often. Very good. She doesn't read many books. Use this sentence to describe Sheldon. But, let's practice. Let's review. Vamos a repasar. Is this the simple present or is it the verb to be? What do you think? It's the simple present. Why? How do you know? ¿Cómo sabes que es el simple present? Yes, we have an action. Sí, porque tiene una acción. ¿Y cuál es esa acción? Read. Very good. This is a negative sentence. Use an affirmative sentence to describe Sheldon. He reads many books. Remember, affirmative sentence with he, she, it, you have to add the S to the verb. Recuerda que cuando es una oración afirmativa con he, she, it, le tienes que agregar una S al verbo. He reads many books. She doesn't watch TV. Simple present or verb to be? Simple present. Very good. How do you know? We have an action, a verb. What's the action? Watch. Very good. Okay, this is a negative sentence. Use an affirmative sentence to describe Sheldon. He watches TV. Remember, affirmative sentence with he, she, it, you have to add the S to the verb. He watches TV. Very good. She doesn't listen to music. Okay. Simple present or verb to be? Simple present. How do you know? We have an action, a verb. What is the action? Listen. Very good. Okay, so now this is a negative sentence. Use an affirmative sentence to describe Sheldon. He listens to music. Very good. Remember, affirmative sentence with he, she, it, add the S to the verb. He listens. He listens to music. She's very active. Okay, what do you think? Simple present or verb to be? Now this is the verb to be. Este sí es el verb to be. And how do you know? ¿Cómo sabes? Porque aquí no hay ninguna acción. No hay ningún otro verbo. She's very active. Simplemente es una descripción de Alice. She's very active. Use this affirmative sentence in the negative form to describe Sheldon. Ahora tienes que usar la forma negativa de esta oración para describir a Sheldon. He isn't very active. Very good. Affirmative form, she is. Negative form, he isn't. Good job. As you can see, Alice is a very outgoing person. Okay, use this sentence to describe Sheldon. Esta está bien facilita. Solo tienes que cambiar dos palabras. Go ahead.